Going back to paper ballot, the cabinet has recommended that State Election Commission use ballot paper for local body elections. State Law and Parliamentary Affairs Minister H.K. Patil cited erosion of confidence in EVMs as the reason behind this decision. Patil said that this could ensure that the trust remains in electoral system.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅನೇಕ ದೇಶಗಳು ಇವಿಎಂ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಿದರ್ಶನಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ.
The cabinet is going to recommend to election commission to hold election with ballot paper, not with EVM. That's number one. Number two, we will be recommending to election commission of Karnataka, State Election Commission, to make the voters list. Make the voters list.
Remember, India's first general elections in 1951-52 were conducted entirely using ballot papers, a practice that continued up until the 1990s. First tested in 1982 in Kerala, EVMs were gradually adopted nationwide with full implementation during the 2004 general election. Why the Congress is going back to a method which was discarded in 2004 is debatable. However, let us evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of ballot paper. To begin with, what are the advantages of ballot paper? The use of physical ballot papers allow voters to see and verify their choices directly. Voters of all ages are familiar with ballot papers. There is no requirement for specialized knowledge or technology to use them. Also, ballot papers provide a physical record of votes that are casted, which can be recounted in case of disputes or recounts. But there are also disadvantages. On the flip side, counting of ballots is extremely slow. The possibility of human error cannot be ruled out in the counting process as well as the recording process. Now, electoral malpractices because of booth capturing without a digital record was common before EVMs came in. Also, printing and managing millions of ballots is an expensive and complex affair. Now, critics of ballot papers also list out advantages that EVMs enjoy over them. That includes EVMs can significantly reduce the time required for voting and counting. Votes can be tallied electronically, leading to faster results. EVMs also minimize the potential for human error in counting and recording votes. They provide immediate feedback to voters, ensuring that their choices are accurately captured. The technical security features are also designed, in fact, to prevent any manipulation. And finally, they also minimize the use of paper, thereby being environmental friendly. One of the biggest criticism of late against EVMs is that they are susceptible to hacking. Also, critics allege that lack of 100% VVPAT paper trails leave scope for manipulation. But what is VVPAT? Now, VVPAT is an independent system attached to all EVMs that allow the voters to verify their votes that are casted intended. The VVPAT slips in and is illuminated for about 7 seconds to enable voters to know and verify the serial number, the candidate and the symbol for which they voted. Now, the tussle over EVMs has been long-standing. So, EVMs versus ballot papers also reached judiciary multiple times. In the landmark ADR versus ECI case of 2024, the Supreme Court rejected the plea to revert back to ballot papers. The apex court emphasized that EVMs are secure, they're efficient and user-friendly. The court found no substantial evidence to support claims of EVM manipulation or inherent flaws in electronic voting system. Now, is Karnataka going back to paper ballot for local body polls? We know that for sure. State Election Commissioner G.S. Sangresh told News9 the poll body was ready to hold ballot paper decisions and elections. He said that EVM machines in Karnataka were old and needed to be disposed of.
The state government in its last cabinet meeting has decided that they would want to do the state body elections in ballot paper, and they've sent a recommendation to the SEC. And I am joined in by Mr. Sangresh, who is the chairperson of the SEC. Sir, the state government has recommended that they should do the next local body elections through ballot paper. Is the SEC ready to do it? And is it possible, sir,
to hold the panchayat and urban local bodies through ballot paper? And also, the cabinet has decided to give the power to the SEC to prepare the electoral rolls in ZP, TP constituencies and urban local bodies constituencies, GP constituencies by amending, deleting, adding and by revision. The SECs are ready to hold the panchayat and urban local bodies through ballot paper, and I don't think there will be any difficulty in holding such elections through ballot paper.
All right, that's the State Election Commissioner. But politics has broken over the return to ballot papers in Karnataka, with BJP leader Jagdish Shettar calling it a regressive move, the worst decision taken by Siddaramaiah government so far.
They are unnecessarily criticizing the Election Commission. They are unnecessarily criticizing the EV system. Almost all in the world, the ballot paper system, it is rejected by the almost in the world countries. Now everybody is using the EV system. Now in the state government, Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar, to please the Rahul Gandhi ji, for that purpose, yesterday they have taken decision to implement voting in ZP Taluk Panchayati by ballot papers. It is a worst thing the Congress government has taken the decision, and it will not good for the good election, and definitely in this also they are going to failure.
And Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar said that the government had the legal authority to conduct local body elections. The law says elections can be held either through paper ballot or EVMs. He wondered why the BJP was worried at all.
This is a political decision which we have taken. We believe it in our ballot system. The government has the powers to recommend to the State Election Commission, and the State Election Commission will do it. Even when the amendment was been passed by the BJP government also, they had also written that either EVM or ballot. So we have choose to take up the ballot. What is wrong in it? There is nothing wrong. So we could see a lot of earlier discrepancy, but we know that in the Election Commission issue we have been raising voice on that EVM machines. When we have an opportunity, we are going to do it. They have failed in their mission. After failing in their mission, what they can tell? They can't accept the defeat. So it is a slap on the face of them.
And so the big questions we're asking here on News9 is the Congress move to return to ballot papers regressive as India shifted to EVMs because there were alleged ballot malpractices. So why go back? What has changed so far? And will this signal a return of poll violence, bogus voting, election fraud, as the BJP alleges? Let's discuss all of that and more. Joining us on the show is Nizam Faujdar, General Secretary, spokesperson, KPCC. Also with us is Ashok K.M. Gowda, spokesperson, BJP Karnataka. Finally, Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, senior journalist, Karnataka, joining us on the show. Thank you very much, gentlemen, all of you, for taking time out for joining us on the show. Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, let's begin with you, sir. Do you believe that this is regressive? Are we going back or are we moving forward?
No, what way it is regressive? We can say that something like this. No, in the first place, who had introduced EVMs and why it was introduced? It was introduced by Congress government, headed by Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and in those days, the balloting, the paper ballot, casting votes and counting used to take a long time, and more importantly, rigging of polls, booth capturing, and physical, lifting of the ballots was quite common, especially in the heartland. In such being the case, and because Rajiv Gandhi was a man of technology, he tried to bring in EVMs. And when he introduced these EVMs in select constituencies of the country, who were the critics of it? The BJP was the critic. One of the BJP spokespersons wrote a whole book, saying that democracy is in danger because of EVMs. And what has happened over a period of years, technology always evolves. Ballot paper, a physical paper doesn't evolve. Technology evolves. Having had the experience of so many elections, of being conducted with EVMs, there were various allegations, not only made baselessly, there were some substantial evidence. If the EVM being found in some politicians, go down, and some registers being somewhere else, and all this has been noted. And more importantly, when the Election Commission of India, upon the advice of the Supreme Court, introduced VVPAT, voter verified audit trail, in select constituencies, why not the entire constituencies? What is wrong in doing that? If you can do it in few constituencies, why can't you do it for entire country? Because whenever there is a doubt expressed publicly by the people or even the various political parties, be it BJP, be it Congress, be it JDS, people have expressed doubt on EVMs, then it is incumbent upon the Election Commission to allay those fears rather than just summarily rejecting it. How do you allay the fear? Fear is not that somebody says that you can remotely manage EVMs during the poll. No, there were allegations wherein the registers were not completely erased before reusing. The recording devices still were carrying the earlier elections votes, and hence the inflated results for a particular party which is in power. All these were the allegations.
Dr. Ipman, these are all allegations. These are all allegations.
Give me one minute. I'll just come to the point. Okay. And now today, what is happening in the case of Bihar, SIR, there are allegations. Dead people are drinking tea in front of Supreme Court. All in this context. Why not try again? Why not experiment again with the ballot papers? It's Karnataka. There's not going to be booth capturing here. Mr. Gowda is my friend. Ashok is here. He will tell me. In Karnataka, we don't have booth capturing culture. We don't have rigging culture. And today we have CCTV footage. Even if something happens, we have CCTV footage now. Then we did not have when the EVMs are introduced. So there are various checks here.
Are you of the suggestion that the entire country should go back to ballot papers?
Let us experiment. Let's see what happens in Karnataka. Okay, based on that, we can take a call.
All right, but what about? Let me quickly take this question to Ashok KM Gowda, spokesperson for the BJP. Ashok Gowda, the entire reason and the reasoning of why we have and Karnataka government has decided to move away from EVMs to paper ballot is essentially that there's not enough trust of the people in EVMs anymore.
See, the point is very, very, very simple. That EVMs is a progressive thought. As Basuraji is already suggested, that having EVPAT across all the booths in the country is a very welcoming move. People are moving from EVMs to other technological aspects where the voting can be much faster and counting can be much faster. Even that kind of a case, why do cause an environmental disaster by cutting down so much of trees and creating a paper? That is, anyway, as an environmentalist, we can count on that. But the point is very, very simple. There is a book called India After Gandhi, wherein Ramachandra Guha, who criticizes Narendra Modi ji day in and day out, clearly states how the chemical rigging was helping Congress, how the booths were captured, which Basuraji already said. So probably now let us link the same case with the number of cases withdrawn. See the timing. Yesterday 60 criminal cases were withdrawn who were all from party who had allegedly involved themselves in the criminal activities, and as well as the people who were PFI party workers the cases have been withdrawn. DJ KJ rights cases have been withdrawn. Now EVM, getting back to EVM. Yes, I agree. In Karnataka, previously, never ever the booth capturing was the regular phenomena. Never. It was not a phenomenon. Only one or two booths here and there. And chemical rigging probably was part of the Congress regime. And in some cases, I'm not going to say that. But whether it is in Bihar, whether it is in Kashmir and other places, when the Congress party was very, 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 very strong, so the booth capturing was a regular process, chemical rigging was a regular process. In fact, Ramachandra Guha quotes and writes, remember that 1970, how it was rigged in favor of Indira Gandhi, and that is why she lost the case in the court. And as well as Bihar, West Bengal, Jammu Kashmir, and several other states, chemical rigging was a process. Now, in Karnataka, Sidramaiah ji is there, and
since we are talking about books, I also want to remind you of. Right, just 1 minute, sir. Since you're talking about books, let me also remind you of a book titled Democracy at Risk. Can we trust our electronic voting machine, written by GVL Narasimha Rao, one of the veteran BJP leaders. He's asserting, and your own party members in the past have asserted, that EVMs cannot be trusted.
No, see, I will tell you, EVMs cannot be trusted when? During 2004. But whereas when it came to, when we have come down from 2004 till 2025, wherein the technology in India, just in the morning we were discussing, how the technology in India is helping us to ease the life and make the life more better, and as well as Bangalore being the technological hub, how can we say that we will go back to the ballot paper? We have to improve. See, I agreed. Whatever Basuraj is saying is absolutely right. You create EVPATs in every booth in the entire state. As well as if there is any check and balance methodology, go for that instead of going back to the old methodology of ballot paper. See, this is a very simple issue. If you don't see, this is the very thing. If the sorrow only for the person who does not know how to eat a grape. That's the point. So you cannot win the election because you don't know and you have not done any work for the people. That is why you lose the elections, and that is why you are going back to the chemical rigging process and booth capturing process. Let's get back to that and get to the technology. And D.K. Shivakumar or Sidramaya are sitting in Bangalore. They are not sitting elsewhere. Okay. So where the technological officer, call few people, call all the startup companies and say that how can we make it more better? So they will suggest you at a much cheaper cost and a much lower cost. Probably so many people are there. They will come and give a free consultation, free suggestion, and you can definitely do that.
Okay. Nizam Faujdar, your own government introduced EVMs and now you want to do away with them. You are saying that there is trust issue with EVMs, but nonetheless, none of these trust issues have been proven so far. All of these remain allegations. But more importantly, what about the efficiency cost, recurring cost and environmental cost of going back to paper ballots?
Bringing this country was very, very clear. It was to basically bring more efficiency. It was made to make sure the process of electioneering is done basically seamlessly. In the last one decade, the kind of vote chori that has happened, the kind of the distrust that has become widespread across the country, that how the whole election process being rigged, and then basically the vote chori is happening. Let me tell you the simple thing. The logistical challenges may be there. There could be, we are trying to bring more efficiency and transparency through the ballot. When the whole world is doing through ballot, what's wrong in it? When BJP says we are cutting trees for the ballot, they are cutting thousands and thousands of hectares of the forest land in Chhattisgarh for one man. Don't they have shame in telling that we are cutting trees for the ballot? Let it take 10 days. Let it take 15 days for counting. What's wrong? It's the mandate of the people that needs to be restored.
Right, sir. But can we agree that two wrongs don't make a right? If you have an allegation against the BJP and you suggest that they're cutting trees, you can't be doing the same thing for your own benefit and say it's right.
No, let me come back. Let me come back. The total discrepancies are at around 5,89,000 votes across 538 constituencies. The votes not counted are about 5,54,598 votes which were polled and not counted were in about 362 constituencies. Excess of votes counted in each of these constituencies are nearly about 35,093 votes, which were excessively counted in about 170 constituencies across India. Do you understand the kind of implication, the kind of impact, the kind of the discrepancy that has been created by the process that has been managed by the BJP, which has been managed by the BJP through ECI? I think that's the reason why we need to bring the transparency in terms of how the election is done. When we started the EVMs, we basically thought that it could bring efficiency and transparency. But today they are not willing to give a CCTV footage because it becomes a privacy issue. They don't give us the CCTV footage of outside the booth. They don't give the CCTV of that. They bring X number of duplicate voters. They basically delete voters through the SIR. They are doing everything possible under the book, the trick book of the BJP to make sure they steal the election. Today we are having an illegitimate government in the center.
I have to ask you, are you saying the EVMs have failed? No, so the reason...
EVMs.
Right. Are you saying EVMs have failed? That you brought it with you brought it with an intention to create transparency, but they have failed. So perhaps it was a failed policy move.
It's a failed policy because of the BJP. It is basically because of the BJP. The BJP has basically made the entire process very opaque. Nobody can see through it. Nobody is willing to give an answer. Nobody is willing to take responsibility why these X number of discrepancies have happened across the country. Why just with one Madhavpura constituency, you could see so much of discrepancy that has come in. The BJP is not taking the responsibility of it. Mr. Gyanesh Kumar is not taking responsibility of it.
Let me quickly give a minute to Ashok Gowda. Right. Let me quickly take a minute and give it to Ashok Gowda to respond to your allegations.
What sir is saying is, without his understanding that in who is ruling in Karnataka? Congress government. Why can't they not go for a 360-degree cameras across where all the booths are there? You can know what is happening inside the booth. And remember that elections are happening inside a school or the college premises wherein CCTV cameras are there. Please do not fool the people saying that give us a CCTV footage. Please, that's not an argument at all. And as well as when it comes to the election commission, you can write and say that make all these things as transparent. But that does not mean that, just because my stomach is aching every day, I cannot stop eating, correct? So that is the kind of the argument Congress is doing. Let's not get back to the processes. Let's get forward to the processes. How does that happen? And Congress government in Karnataka is, first thing is whatever the process is there. Will lose in Karnataka because one side people are suffering because of price rise, high taxes, and increased loan on them. No development. Even whatever they do, and then what will happen if they lose the elections via ballot paper? Also, they will blame the ballot paper, or they want to chemically rig. Even if they chemically rig, we will win because we are very confident that the current regime in Karnataka is taxing on the people heavily.
All right, that's another story for another day. But as far as EVMs is concerned, I think they're going to go away from the local body polls. That's the message coming in from Karnataka at this point. Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, Ashok KM Gowda, Nizam Faushsar, thank you very much, gentlemen, for taking time out for joining us on the show. But that's all we have on Point tonight. We'll be back on Monday with Karthikeya Sharma. Thank you very much for watching.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9. English news as it should be.
Associate sponsor, Dyna Premium Beauty Soap. पहली झलक करे खूबसूरत।
तो अपने सोने को काम पे लगाइए। आज ही कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212 पर।
Papa, let's go to the happy birthday to the. I love you. Go to the go. I love my dada. I love my dada.
Skoda.
The power of Digi-Alkaline from Nippo Thor.
Uttarakhand has been witnessing heavy continuous rainfall this season. Why did this happen? This is happening because of us, humans, and that's the fact. That whether it was an impending climate change, what should state governments be doing, sir? If we do not nurture Himalayas will not nurture us. After targeting India on its alleged high tariffs, New Delhi stands firm against Trump's bullying.
1 करोड़ वोटर्स ऐड हुए थे, जो हमें मिला है वो एटम बम।
I really expect that our political party should respect for institutions which are mandated by the Constitution.
We are in the extremely health conscious age, and there is so much talk of eating foods that have low glycemic index, and you're already seeing rice hitting the market with like low glycemic index rice and all that. Is that also something that you work on?
So what we've done is that we've created another brand within our portfolio from ARBL, which is called India Gate Up Life. Now this brand has gotten into play with a new category, and this is a new foray for us. We've gotten into the healthy edible oils market. With the brand India Gate Up Life, we've gotten in two variants of healthy blended oil. Edible oil, and though the aspiration for us with Up Life is not really to get into edible oils, it's to create a platform solve for young India who wants to be healthy. So if you look at health, and you very rightly put out that health is the next thing in India, we are seeing a lot of trends where health is going to be very big going forward.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabir Naqvi.